Numerous workplace issues. How do you view them? Are you stuck with one perspective? A single dimension? Take a vantage point, a panoramic view. Experience spirited contests, sparkling exchanges. Get your voice heard. Add your hue to the color of various workplace issues. Gain a broader and deeper perspective. Relish the nuances. Feel the adrenaline. Welcome to the home of sizzling workplace debates. Welcome to Both Sides.
First time since last year, because we've been working from home. Big welcome to you all, and another big welcome to those people who are listening to us virtually, and again, working from home. And I'm not saying that I'm on any side, but the debate today is now time to fully go back to the office. So there will be people convincing us that, I don't know who us is, but there will be people telling us, you know what, stay at home. Others will be telling us go to the office. And we will be listening to them with an intent to listen and get to it. It's all about opinion and debate at the workplace. So, but before I start on how the day runs, I really want to introduce my co-host, my usual co-host, Rose Sang, who usually takes the other side. So you can almost imagine what other side she's taking, Rose.
Well, I will tell you what side that is in a few minutes, John. Thank you for the warm introduction. So tell me, how does it run today?
So first of all, we could go home and work from there. Then the debate is over. Or we could rush to the office and work from there, and the debate is over. But for the debate, how we're going to do it is we're going to have the two debaters who we'll be introducing very shortly, whose idea and ideal is to share with us what they think about the positions they have taken. But also for the fun bit is convince us to think different. So at the very beginning, we'll have a poll that will be projected here.
Mm-hmm.
It's live, guys. It's live, it's fair, but it's also final. So what you see is the final thing.
So we don't need to open any servers today.
We don't have a server. All we have is a computer.
Okay. What next?
Then we'll have the debaters come after the Slido survey at the beginning, and they will have 12 minutes to convince us or to share their views. After that, it will be 3 minutes of the next debater, what I call destroying. That's what we say, destroying the strongholds of the first debater. 3 minutes, and then getting into 12 minutes of their own debate. And after that, we'll get back 3 minutes to rebuttal. And thereafter, we will have a chance to ask how far has the needle moved in favor of one person or the other debater, and we'll have a session for Q&A. That sounds like how it will run.
Okay. And well, this session today is hosted by Both Sides, a platform that provides an opportunity to discuss everyday workplace issues, drawn from different industries, different age groups, different professionals. And today we have a professional not only from HR, but we have somebody from marketing as well, and we'll be introducing them shortly. The debate is hosted alongside our learning partner, AMI, who enable ambitious businesses across Africa to thrive. We believe that skilled people build thriving businesses create quality jobs, and quality jobs drive prosperity and dignity. So we'll be hearing a little bit more about AMI after we conclude the debate. So John, who are our debaters this evening?
Yeah, how about just reminding people what the debate is? The topic is it is now time to fully return to the office. I know there are people who sit on the fence and say, can we do hybrid? No, we're talking about fully. Okay, I'm sure there are people who are thinking, maybe Monday and Tuesday we cannot work, Wednesday we don't work, and maybe Thursday we go to the office and Friday we work from home. No, it's now time to fully return to the office. So the debaters, we've got Mariana Misoga and
Kevin Kamau. So I'm going to introduce Kevin. And you know, I miss working in the office. The gossip around the tea area, you know, my workmates John on the other side. I'm missing Jerry's tea because now when I'm at home, well, I have to take tea that's not quite the African tea. So to be able to debate this topic, allow me to introduce Kevin Kamau. He's a brand builder, an experienced marketing professional with a passion for building brands and challenging the status quo, whose expertise in content managing, event management, and experiential management. He has an 8-year plus track record of launching and activating consumer brands, projects managing across the world, developing content marketing strategies, and below-the-line campaigns for various brands such as Telcom Kenya, Nescafe, EABL, PZ Cussons, amongst others. He's also an entrepreneur in the hospitality sector and a self-appointed ambassador for Murang'a County. He calls it Motown. How can you beat that? So while he's not busy working on content campaigns, he likes to go on drives, watch sports, and crime-related documentaries and host game nights. Now you see why he can't work from home. He needs to get into the office and perhaps, do a few things for Motown. Who do we have on the other side?
So I don't know how far Motown is from the office. So he probably is working from home. But you know what? What I love about working from home is you can sing, right? In the office, you can't walk around singing because people are going to ask you, like, are you ready for, like, voice transplant, whatever that is? But working from home, you can sing at home, sing those melodies, and you know what? You're the best singer in there. So the other debater is Mariana. And let me start with her interest. Is she loves to sing. She loves to sing. And the only place that can happen is at home. Wow. Okay. So Mariana is a millennial currently working in Vivo Energy as a HRIS technical specialist, focusing on SAP SuccessFactors and other integrated systems, supporting 23 countries. Can you imagine? If your office was in 23 countries, the travel. So working from home. She does the 23 countries under Vivo Energy, majorly focusing on HR stakeholders, but also interacts with other departments in the company. So Mariana has been in the HR space for 5 years and previously was in sales. Sales. You can imagine how that pitch is going to go in her favor. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology, political science, and she describes herself as an ambivert. And who else? There's only a millennial can think of herself as an ambivert. We'll check what that is with Rose, because I'm sure we're both struggling there.
I know.
But she loves complex. The more complex the plot, the more complex the problem, the issue, the happier and more attracted she is to it. This would explain why she enjoys the do-it-yourself projects. Multi-layered movies, guys. Multi-complex plots in a movie. But like I said, she loves to sing, and she did this very competitively before she now confines the singing while she's working at home. Now, she wouldn't complete her bio without saying she loves traveling and cooking. And where would that happen? At home.
Well, we are not feeling the pressure with Kevin because we know where Motown is, and it's suddenly in the office. So, are we ready to take the poll now?
I think we're ready to take the poll. We've done a good pitch, and what we do is we'll take a poll that will go on the screen now. And the question is, you go to Slido. I think I'll come this side, Rosa. You can guide us.
Okay.
Yeah. Pick your phone. Sit on the couch. Sit back.
Or
go
in
to
the office.
Slido.com.
Go to slido.com.
And use that as the
Yeah.
code. So the question is, it's now time to fully return to the office.
Yeah. And the code is 148331. So far, you can see 75% are saying, nope, still time to stay home. Are we going to be swayed? We haven't had the debaters, but I think that dial is probably going to move once we have Kevin on the stage. So we'll have another 2 minutes for you to vote. Please vote. 71% saying it's not time to go back to the office. 25% say, well, it is time to go back to the office. Clearly, those ones don't miss the office gossip. How much more can you get when you're sitting at home? Okay.
They love the tea at home.
So shall we close
Yeah, of
for
course.
now? So John, what are the statistics telling us?
So what basically we're saying is 64% of us are saying, no, it's not time to fully return to the office. Now that's a starting. The end could be different.
Oh,
It all takes the debaters to convince us otherwise.
yeah, you know what they say, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. So at this juncture, allow me to invite Kevin on stage. He'll have about 12 minutes of debate. Before then, we can call Mariana. Karibu, Kevin.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me. I mean, that's a bit scary to see, but by the end of it, I'm hoping it's going to change. So does the clock start now? I'd want to start with my opening statement by saying what, and asking you as a matter of fact, what is a good office environment? Whatever you're thinking about is what defines what the good office environment is. And for me, it's as simple as good lighting, great people, team spirit, constant communication and collaboration, good work, space planning, up-to-date technology, which ideally could involve LED screens, it could involve high-speed internet, comfortable furniture. You cannot take that for granted. Quiet environment, and good and free coffee, guys. Let's just be honest. These are some of the things that you cannot find in the comfort of your home. So now, I would want to start off with the most obvious things. Why do we go to work? It's to get the job done. And to get the job done, there are certain basics, like equipment. So now, let's just be honest. If you're in the design field, for example, the MacBook that you normally have at the office is not what you're going to have at home. As a matter of fact, the equipment that you need to use at the office, which involves a photocopier, a scanner, which are things that could be taken for granted, are not available at home. So let's get back to the office, because to get the job done, some of these things need to be accessible. The lack of access to hard copy records, let's just be honest, as much as things are going digital, we still have a lot of records that are in hard copy. Now, you can imagine an administrative assistant in a law firm who's trying to get her job done, things are at the office, she's at home. What exactly is she supposed to do if she has to get to prepare enough for a court case? That cannot happen at home. So we need to get back to the office. The other thing, supervision, guys. We always have an organizational structure. Supervision is easier when you're all at the office, because I'll give you a good example. I'm in the design field. It takes me a second to walk to a table where the designer is seated, or where the designer is seated, and just look at the colors and tell him, these colors are off. Can you imagine that same thing would take probably about 10 minutes before he actually renders that same thing and sends it to me to approve. So supervision, approval, all of these things are easier when we're back at the office. So basically decision making. The other thing is comfort. Comfort is very important. Yes, let's be honest. I know you're probably thinking, in your first week or second week of working at home, you started noticing that your back is aching, because your couch is not meant. It's the space that you hang out and watch a movie. It is not exactly for sitting down. The posture is not even meant for that particular purpose. So comfort, guys. Another thing is, which I don't take for granted, is a sense of family. Let's just be honest. A lot of us live alone. Now, you can imagine, 24 hours in your chamber. There's a lot that's happening, guys. You can understand why I'm saying this, because there's a lot of things that happen in a human being's life. And even when you live with other people, let's be honest, you want to speak to somebody else that's not part of your family sometimes. And to be honest, that happens at the office. Sometimes you pull a colleague, and you're like, this is what's happening in my life, let's have a conversation. And they do you more good. You know, by the time you're back home, you feel like you've got some relief. Now, the other thing is work-life balance. It's so obvious that when you leave the house, your mind switches to work mode. But when you're back to the house, your mind switches back to rest mode. Now, that's just how the human brain works. It's just like how you walk into a church and now you can't start screaming. When you walk into an office, it's a place of work. And I believe that's what you're reminded every day by your superiors. This is a place of work. As a matter of fact, I'd want to mention that I've been in a sitting where somebody said, if you walk into an office, kindly focus on the work, and as soon, before you walk in, just hang everything else that would stop you from working at the door. Okay? Now, there's also a lot of mental health, which is a very pertinent subject that's happening, that's going on at the moment. Anyone heard of cabin fever? Ever been in a room? Guys, as a matter of fact, let me give you a good example. Solitary is one of the worst punishments that you can get even in prison. So you can imagine you're in prison, but solitary is one of those other things that you give yourself when you start working from home. And it's very pertinent, especially for people that live alone. So now, guys, mental health becomes a problem in this case. The other thing I'd want to bring up is money. When people move, money moves. It's true. And that's why I think we are even encouraged to move more, travel more, because money moves. You eat somewhere, you pay a transporter, but when you stop moving from where you live, what happens is all of these places suffer. For example, I know right now you're probably thinking, what would happen to my cab guy if I stopped moving? As a matter of fact, what would happen to the guy that pumps gas? As a matter of fact, what would happen to the restaurant guy who serves you over lunchtime? And I know you're all thinking about all these things. As a matter of fact, where I work, there's a lady who's the cleaner, but has also started a business within the same office, the same kitchen, to serve us. So you can imagine, I can only imagine what would happen to Stella. That would be really sad. Now, the other thing I want to bring up is, since people started working from home, redundancy has gone higher. Guys, there are people that end up being redundant. Why do you need a receptionist anymore? Why do you need a cleaner, as a matter of fact? Why do you even need a guard? No one is coming to the office. So let's just be very clear on the fact that there's people who are earning a living in these places that count on you guys coming to the office every day. The other thing is productivity. Definitely, I can tell you for a fact, productivity per hour has reduced. And that is from my own experience. Because something that would have ideally taken me 30 minutes now takes me up to 3 hours. Why? Because there's a distraction. Probably the lights went off, right? I know there's a lot of those things that have happened for you before, to you before. Lights have gone off. Internet, there's a problem. There's a TV show that comes on at this particular moment. Are you strong enough to not watch it? So there's a lot of productivity reduced by working from home. When we're at the office, I look at what I'm able to achieve at the office, and I'm very sure that this is what we need to be doing. We need to be going back to the office. Another thing is sense of pride. I want you to start thinking about your years of internship. Can you imagine if you got an internship at PwC right now, and you were told, it starts tomorrow, but you work from home? Guys, let's be honest. Going to the office does give you a sense of pride. As a matter of fact, what normally happens is as soon as you walk in, there's the whole prestige that comes with walking into that building. It's a sense of pride. Even mentioning that, I just came from the office, it's actually a sense of pride. As a matter of fact, it's a very good conversation starter. The other thing that you've probably heard from other people is, let's meet at my office tomorrow, haven't you? The other thing that you've heard from people is, my office is not at the branch. I now sit at the HQ. Now, I can only imagine what people would say if that was the case. Now, the other thing I'd want to mention is, I've also had somebody tell me, there's an art cafe in the same building that my office is in. Guys, there's a sense of pride. And this pride is what keeps conversations going. Now, you can imagine if we are all seated at home. I can only imagine what would happen. The other thing is, and this, I know you're going to relate. It does, especially for people that are living with their partners. It reduces conflict at home. We all know, absence makes the heart fonder. But what happens if I'm spending time around you 24 hours? Not counting the hours that we sleep because I'm next to you. What's going to happen is that we're going to fight pretty much about everything. So I can tell you for a fact, working from the office has been the best thing that has happened to some of us. The other thing I'd want to bring up is, it also fosters networking. Now, if you're out and about, you've got the chances to bump into someone. I know at this particular moment, you can all remember a moment where you stood at a bus stop and somebody asks you, what are you carrying in your bag? You sell shoes. And that's how it all started. But you can imagine if you're confined to your house, your chances of meeting any human being, apart from your guard or the guy that brings, they're very slim. Very, very slim. So networking is actually hindered by that. The other thing that I'd want to mention is that when it comes to socialization, going to work is what allows you to say, I'm going to have a drink before I go home. That's why they're saying, people started saying, one for the road, right? That one for the road is what everybody needs to stay away from depression. So what I would say is, let's stay at the office. Let's go fully return to the office. Thank you, guys.
Well, John, you had it. We must have one for the road. And for those that are single, staying at home just doesn't cut it. You need to get out there. You just never know who you're going to meet.
I think I ended up on the right side of this debate because when you say that absence makes the heart grow fonder, I'm like, yeah, maybe I need to work from the office. But then I thought, like, absence from the office, working from home could make me love work more. I don't know.
Double-edged sword.
I don't know. It's a double-edged sword. So, why not welcome Mariana to tell us for the first 3 minutes what she thinks about the points advanced by Kevin, and then spend her 12 minutes telling us why we should work from home, and probably tell us what could make us grow fonder of anything.
Well, who knows? She just might sing her way into convincing
You never
us
know.
that
So
we need
maybe
to
the
pick
debate
her
is all
side.
singing, eh?
So, Karibu, Mariana, and we look forward to hearing that voice.
I know you're the guys who voted for me, the people at home. I'm doing this for you. Remote working, absolutely the way to go. So I'm just going to take a few minutes to take us through what Kevin has taken us through. For the first time, he said work. He mentioned a little bit about work, and we go to the office and we get work done. Guys, please, let's not get it twisted. Work is not our place. That office is not your work. Work is a thing that you actually do. It is not the place that you go to. So let's get that straight. Work is not the place that you go. It is rather the thing that you do. And in that sense, it means this work can be done from anywhere. Now, he said that also productivity has been reduced, but working from home gives us an opportunity, or let me actually just call it remote working, because sometimes we limit ourselves so much. We think working from home means I have to be seated in my house. Guys, you can be seated somewhere in a yard still doing your work. It is remote. It is not in the office, okay? And just because it takes more time for me to be able to get to someone, just because it's easier to get it done in the office doesn't mean that it can't be done any other way. There are very many ways to skin a cat, remember. And he mentioned comfort. Now, I want you to think about this. Would you rather, on a very cold, rainy day, you go to your Google Maps, there's traffic everywhere, it's red everywhere. Would you rather start your work seated in the comfort of your chair with a comforter and some Milo, and you get started on your work, or do you rather want to, go wait at a bus stop and get abused by a makanga before you can finally get into a van that's leaking and finally go sit for, it's endless. Would you rather sit at home at the comfort of your home and get your work done, or would you rather get into a car and, everything else that comes with the commute of going to the office? He mentioned about all the things that we can do in, when you can say, I'm going to the office, come meet me at my office. Would you rather meet in an office or in a restaurant? Because see, if I'm remote working, I'll carry my laptop to an art cafe, and I will sit there, and I will still have my meeting with you, and we will still get the work done. So it doesn't mean it cannot be done. It still can. The things that we do for pleasure, movement and travel and all those things, they can still be done. Just not to the office, but to other things, to do other things that make us happy. Travel for pleasure, go see your friends, see your family, interact, meet new people. It can still be done, but for pleasure and not necessarily for work. And that to me sounds like a work-life balance. I don't know about you guys, but seriously, sounds like a work-life balance. Now, he mentioned about, and I know this is a very touchy topic for a lot of people, absence makes the heart grow fonder, but remember, out of sight, out of mind. So let us take time to just go through why we may not really need to go back to the office, okay? I'll start by asking a question, and this is to everybody. When is the last time you went to a cyber cafe? I'm sure we all remember those days. You go, you pay 20 shillings, and you're told it's 20 minutes, and you have 20 minutes to send an email, update your Facebook status, and there's so many things you need to cram into those 20 minutes. And that was what we were used to. And then smartphones came about, and now we have the internet on our phones. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go to a cyber cafe. And we can still go Like I can sit, if I asked everybody to just, get on your phone and Google something for me, they'll be able to do that. They don't need to go to some place to get that done. Technology has made it possible for us to sit at the comfort of wherever you are. I'm actually going to call it home for the day. It's allowed us to sit wherever we want to and still get the things that we wanted to get done. Okay? So we may really not have to go back to the office to get work done. As I mentioned before I began, that work is not a place that you go, rather a thing that you do. What is more important for us to think about is how do we get this work done? It's not about where am I getting the work done, it's how do I get the work done. Nobody pays to go to an office and sit there from 8 to 5 o'clock, but somebody pays you for your work. If I deliver a piece of work to you and it is not done well, are you going to tell me this wasn't done in an office? Or are you going, if it's shoddy work, you're not going to tell me this could have been done better had it been done in an office. It's just, this could have been done better, okay? And as much as there's demerits to being, the most important thing we need to realize is that these things can be done from anywhere. And so we don't have to confine ourselves to 4 walls. Allow yourself to think outside of the box. Allow yourselves to think outside of the box. Today, we are here to challenge that notion and to make sure that people understand that we don't have to go back to the office to get anything done. There are so many benefits to working remotely. Economically, think about the small businesses. Any small business owner will tell you rent is the one thing that kills them. If they didn't have to pay rent, they'd have more cash flow to be able to do other things. And allowing them to work remotely simply means that they're able to channel the amount of money that they get to other things. They're able to have working capital. They're able to have salaries for their people who are working somewhere other than a building that they have to pay for. And speaking of rent, for the people who have big offices, imagine leasing a 6th-floor building to house everybody there. And if you say half of my people are not going to work from here, so I don't have to pay this much rent. I can pay less, and then this money can be used to doing other things. For example, buying MacBooks for people to be able to do their work at home. Exactly. Employees will also save money on rent. Now think about it. And I know this may not apply to everybody, but a lot of us live where we live, not because we like the place, but because it's close to the office. Now imagine you had the freedom, to live where you want to. Not because it's close to the office. No. If you like a place, a quiet place with nice trees and silence and no loud honking matatus everywhere, working remotely allows you to live there. One, it puts more money back in your pocket because, historically, and even if we do a statistic right now, rent is cheaper away from the city center than in the city center. So if you work remotely, you pay less rent and you're happier because you live somewhere that you actually want to stay, okay? And this means more money back in your pocket because you don't have to pay fare every day. You don't have to buy fuel every day to go to the office. You buy fuel to do things that you like. See, if I had to do something, say for example, I had to eat something I like and I have to eat, let's use vegetables. If I have to eat vegetables like broccoli, I don't like them, but I know that they're good for me. If you told me I'll give you skuma instead or spinach, which is something I actually like, I'm going to take that. They're still vegetables, they're still things that you like doing, but I'm happier to take them because, not because it's something I have to do, but it's something I like to do. So it's better for you to spend this money doing things that you like to do, like travel and socializing and whatnot, than having to spend this money going to the office every single day. Mental health is also something that comes to play here. Working from home or working remotely allows you to sleep longer, and you know what sleeping longer does for you, especially for even for your own mental health. It reduces your stress levels. Working from home means, the first thing you do when you wake up, you don't have to think about, oh no, what if there's traffic? Oh no, what if the president is leaving the airport and going to? Oh no, what if? No, it reduces your anxiety levels. And that means that when I start my work day, I'm that much less stressed because I didn't have to fight with anybody on the road just to get to the office. And we may think that, oh no, but it's not such a big deal. But imagine having to go through that every single day, Monday to Monday. Seriously, it's simply not, it's not worth it. It really isn't. And in this day and age as well, when we're speaking about mental health, working from home allows us to do more fulfilling things like spending time with our partners. We don't get to do that a lot. When you go to the office, it's everybody sets an alarm at 6 o'clock. You hear alarms from everybody's bedroom. Dee, 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 dee. Why? Everybody is rushing to go take breakfast and leave, and it's buyers. And when you come back in the evening, it's one thing after another, and then you go to bed. Where is the time to connect? This person, you can't fight someone you don't connect with. Let's connect first and then fight. Allow us to have the chance to do these things. And remember, diamonds are made from pressure. Yeah. So sometimes fighting is not too bad. It's not too bad. For organizations, remote working has endless possibilities for you. Imagine having employees in every single time zone. Or you may not be such a big organization to have people in every single time zone, but in different time zones. It means you can have a 24-hour call center that if I'm in India and I call the number that you have given there, someone in India will pick up. Not someone in Kenya who has already done work during the day and then has to come back and still pick a call somewhere late in the night. No. And this is only possible from remote working. Okay? People can work from anywhere. It means you can have a 24-hour call center. Remote working means you can tap into a wider talent pool. So you don't just think local, you think global. You have an opportunity to have people from every single culture. Diversity comes into play here. You have a much more diverse culture. If you're developing a product and you have people from different places to do this for you, it simply means that that product is not just going to be made, say, just for the Kenyan market, because we already had the Kenyan people thinking about this. I have input from people in Rwanda, Tanzania, South Africa, and I didn't have to pay exorbitant work permit fees to get them here. We all just connected because we're, working remotely. It's an opportunity to have a diverse workforce, as I mentioned, and this can have a very, very, very big impact on your work culture. People will enjoy working there. Someone will say, oh no, my colleague from Kenya said, oh no, my colleague from this place. That also brings a sense of pride, because I'm not just working with local people, guys. I'm international. Now, we must come up with solutions. So instead of saying, let's go back to the office 100%, let's instead leverage on technology. Every single day, something new comes up. Every single day. Technology makes steps every single day. And this is what we need to leverage on. People who did not wake up and smell the coffee early enough never have it easier somewhere down the road. And you don't want to be that person. Leverage on technology. There's Microsoft Teams. You can have video calls. We'll have a video call and I'll see that work and I'll look at that design that you've sent me and I'll be like, yeah, that color is really off on the video call. You wouldn't have to send it to me on the email. Okay? We need to change how we look at things. Instead of focusing on people come back to the office so that this and this can get done, it is how else can I make my employees happier wherever they are? And a happy employee is a very, very productive employee. And we need to ask the hard questions. Are we going back to the office because it's extremely necessary for work? Or are we going back to the office just because it's familiar? It's that thing we're used to doing, You're just like saying, I'm going to the office. Do you have to? Is it necessary for you to do it, for you to be able to do your work? In the year 2007, the iPhone came out. And in the market was the BlackBerry and the Nokia. And BlackBerry and Nokia had such a huge market at the time, and iPhone was still a small-time company. Now, 10 years down the line, Apple is one of the richest companies in the world. And I don't know, has anyone heard of Nokia or BlackBerry or what they're doing at the moment? I think not. And why is that? It's because those guys simply refused to see and accept the technology that was coming and see the change that was coming and understand that they can't keep doing things the same way and expect something different in a new world. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Thank you.
Wow, what a debate. John, my first phone was a Nokia 3310.
Is yours on? So the audience wasn't meant to hear that you had a Nokia, because Nokia is no longer in the market. But my first phone wasn't an iPhone. So at least you need to throw in iPhone.
I thought you're millennial, but anyway.
You had it for yourself. You had it for yourself. And it's from sleeping more. All the sleepers say amen. It's for the letters people. It is for, taking care of yourself from home. But wouldn't let Mariana just go like that without giving Kevin a chance just to tell us how to damage the strongholds. Okay. And as Kevin is coming on stage, I want to remind you that there will be a session for Q&A. I'm sure you've got 2 pages already of questions for each one of them. So I'm guessing 2 pages each. And online, I'm sure the questions are more. So please text the questions if you're online, and if you're live with us, please prepare to ask the questions. We already received some, which are very hot. But before we move on, Kevin, you've got 3 minutes to tell us why you disagree with Mariana.
I see you've been taking a lot of notes, so I hope you're going to come and crush everything she's talked about. But then who knows? As we said, it ain't over until the fact.
And guess what will happen is we're going to have Kevin come, we're going to have Q&A, and you're going to decide where you stand.
But before we decide, John, we're going to listen to our learning partner. I'm told they have a surprise for us. So don't leave just yet. They could be in for a bit more debate a little later on.
Maybe
So
we should
Kevin?
include them of yes, no, and maybe.
Well, let's see.
Let's
Kevin,
see, Kevin.
Karibu.
Thank you for having me back. I'm glad I came fast because then I've got a lot to work on. So, first of all, I'd want to mention that you said work isn't a place. Truth is, working at Java is not sustainable. Working at Java is not affordable. And that's, it's just not sustainable for most Kenyans. So it makes more sense for free coffee, makes more sense for free breakfast for those that get it from their companies. The other thing I want to bring up is, you said something about spending more time with your loved ones. But let's just be honest. If you're at home and you're on your machine, do you really pay attention to the kids? I don't think so. In between all the Zoom calls, what we forget is that it is an office to you, but it is a home to them. So kids are allowed to play, kids are allowed to shout, kids are allowed to watch TV. But if you turn that living room into an office, it doesn't give them much of a home now, does it? Now, the other thing is about diversification. You've been brought to a team. How easy is it to get integrated into a new team? Can you imagine a new joiner virtually joining a team? I can tell you for a fact it's going to take you a year before you get someone that you can relate to, if you're lucky. The other thing, you mentioned mental health. Honestly, mental health is very important, but physical exercise is also very important. Now, let's just be honest. Haven't you had something called COVID weight? Everyone seems to have gained it. And for you working at the office allows you to walk. It allows you to walk upstairs. It allows you to walk around the office. It allows you, but that doesn't happen if you're working at home. Not most people get a chance to leave their comfort of their homes. The other thing I would want to bring up is that the service industry relies heavily on physical presence, which is a huge part of this economy. So it's not viable at all, as a matter of fact, to fully say that we can work from home, because you can imagine, for someone that's supposed to be checking that the service is okay when you're getting served, or that will not suffice. The other thing I'd want to bring up, which is very important, is that monitoring, evaluating employees from home, especially when it comes to KPIs such as attitude towards work, such as punctuality, such as commitment to tasks. When someone is busy on mute, but they're walking around the house, and you're busy trying to do a presentation, how do you measure such KPIs? So I'd want to urge my fellow opponents to cross over to this side. Guys, let's go back to the office.
Wow. I guess there's always the sweetest 3 minutes, and Kevin had his last. I don't know. Maybe we should have a referendum to change this. So when we give 3 minutes, then another half a minute to someone else. But But that's how the debate is. It's just to be fun and to debate issues that happen at the workplace. But you heard for yourself. Even I, who was quite swung on working from home, I'm thinking of taking my home to the office and remain quite neutral on it. I don't know what you think, Rose.
I'm thinking of staying at home because I miss Susie, my cat, when I'm in the office. So, I'm going to stay home with this one.
But I'm tending to think that people working from home are really having the time of their lifetime.
Absolutely. From working in
Because-
pajamas.
While from working.
Well, we have a couple of questions, though, from the crowd. So why don't we pose those questions and see whether they were able to sway. Thank you, those who are calling from Qatar, for those who are signing in from London as well. It's been a fantastic, we've had people coming from all over the world, so perhaps this working from home is not really a bad thing. Yeah?
It was about technology.
Well,
It's
you
about
heard about
Teams.
Apple and Nokia and many
Yeah.
others. So Kevin,
Yeah.
first question to
But now
you.
I was trying to think about the working from the office because I miss the gossip in the office. Like, I've been trying to pick the same gossip with my neighbor.
It ain't working.
Like, did you see the high heels? And he's asking, which high heels? Because I'm the only one seeing. Did you see that guy with like torn jeans? Because my age sees torn jeans. And he's asking, which torn jeans? So I think I want to go back to the office.
Are you sure?
Stay at home.
I told you, there's something about Lina's tea that you really must go back to because there's nothing like it.
But let me work at home. Let me have the office in the house.
Well, let's see. So, Kevin, we have the first question for you. You mentioned that, working from the office, can lead you to find your better half. And so, how do you relate that with some of the policies within organizations that mention that, those who have relationships, one must leave the organization? What are your thoughts?
I actually tend to think if it's meant to happen, that you're going to meet your, the first time that you meet them, it might not be that you started the relationship when you were in the same company, but you socialize with people in the office, and that was the opportunity to meet your soulmate, for lack of a better word. And that's the moment. We're not planted in these companies. We get to move, or we get to meet people every day just because we are in these offices. And let's just be honest, it's hard to meet people for most of us.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying is if the stars are aligned, they're aligned.
They're aligned.
Irrespective, yeah?
Wherever it is, whether it's the bus stop on your way to the office.
Well, you sound like you have a few love stories.
No,
We'll catch up after that one.
he sounds like the bus stop guy because he's talking about the bus stop the second time. But then there was a question for Mariana, which was, there's a big issue happening with mental health, and going by the things that happened this week. One of the questions that is being asked is, isolation is driving mental health issues. How do you suppose to help? How do you suppose to help guys who are at home and have mental health issues or slipping into mental health issues?
Sorry. So there are opportunities to call a psychologist in the event, and we have had such good fortune to have some of the people do this for free, and these resources online. There's online communities that allow you to share with them anonymously. That's the best part. It's like Alcoholics Anonymous, like, hey guys, my name is so and so, and this is what I'm. You can do that anonymously and get the help that you need. And there is people that you can call, toll-free numbers, and speak to someone, and they'll help you battle through this. And there's also different coping mechanisms that you can use. It doesn't necessarily have to be, because think about it, there are people who are introverts, and regardless of how much you want them to go to the office, they really rather be alone. And these people may not necessarily suffer from isolation, okay, or the issues that we're facing. So we're saying that again, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Just because I'm not speaking to people in person doesn't mean I can't pick up my phone and call them.
And so while we have you, Mariana, before you take your seat, there's one other question around productivity. So how does one measure productivity? Because I come from the school of thought, the Nokia people, who believe that they must see you clocking in and clocking out before they can say you've been productive. So what are some of the strategies that you think employers could put in place to ensure productivity goes up, even whilst they're working from home?
Okay, so there's two things to do in order to make sure. So one of the things is that there's softwares that are in place. There's employee tracking time and many others that have come up, especially in the last 1 year, that can measure employee tracking time. There's some that check how many emails have been sent in the day, how many, what's your service delivery time, like when someone sends you something, how long do you take before you can respond to it? And you can use that to measure the productivity of a person. Some people use video calls to measure this because we'll have a call and we'll have the video on, and then you don't have a chance to, go and make your tea as someone else is making a presentation. That can also be done. But also the key thing to remember is that productivity is not measured by me coming to the office and say, I could sit and be on YouTube the entire day. It doesn't mean I've been productive. So let's look at other more quantitative ways of measuring productivity rather than qualitative.
Okay.
And one of the topics about video tracking is that you get these people who always get onto call and they're saying, I'm not going to put on my video because I'm not video ready. So I don't know how the debate for productivity on that would be. But there was a question that was put to you, and I sort of felt it, because you said money moves. Like when people move, money moves. When you go to the office, money follows you. And people are going through tough times now. The question is, are you supposing that people should get pay rises as they move to the office? Is that going to be a cost to business, more cost to business? Or are you leaving employees more without cash as it moves?
I think the one thing I've noticed is with the movements, even for the people that are not earning much, before we even have a conversation about increasing how much we pay them, there's more opportunities for them, even in that movement itself. Because I'll give you a good example. You've got someone that needs to attend an interview. Most of the people that need to attend these interviews, I can only imagine you doing an interview on a Zoom call. It's quite challenging. I've been part of such interviews, and it's very hard to get to a point that you can evaluate the candidate that you're interviewing. In terms of the company going through a higher cost, I think it's important for them to look at how much our employees having to foot just to get here every day, and pay them accordingly to empower them to be able to be at work every day. Even to eat, it's important to know what they eat, how much does it cost them. And at the end of the day, let's just be honest, if someone is happy, then they will be able to make money enough for the company to be able to cater for those particular costs.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard it. And ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the debate, with the rebuttals, and the Q&A. But we must do something before we go to the poll again. And what's that, Rose?
Well, we're going to run the poll again to see whether we got swayed. Initially, everybody was for. Everybody was against that it's now time to get back to the office. Let's see whether the dial moved and by how much. So can we run the poll again? So please go back to slido.com. The code is 148331. Did we move that dial, or did we stay the way we were? So let's vote. So far, nobody's voting. I can see we're at 50-50. Wow, that's the first time we've had that, John, isn't it?
That's the first time.
That is the first time. So we're still at 50-50. Let's keep voting. We'll give you about a minute.
I'm moving closer to the office because I don't know what will happen tomorrow.
I told you it's Motown Day today, so let's
It's
see.
Motown.
But
It's
who
Motown.
knows? It could be the Apple Day as well. So 50-50. I can't believe this.
I hope it's only 10 people who voted. The other 20 will be staying at home.
Well, we'll give it another minute or so.
Yeah.
I can see both of them are praying hard. This is Africa. People don't die of natural causes. There must be something. So I don't know who was engaging today. I'm told the local witch doctor was at work.
It started with
Clearly, it's not doing a good
traffic
job
to the
at
venue,
it.
so this Africa thing started early.
Well, 50-50.
Oh, 50-50.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
So
shall we leave it there?
There's a table that hasn't voted. We're giving them a chance because I haven't seen their phones out. So we're waiting for the last minute, and we're going to hear boom.
They were using
You know,
technology.
there's 200 people that voted, but only 150 were online. So,
54,
so there's 54, 46.
Back
50,
to
50.
50.
So we're going to close.
I think
we're
we're
going to
gonna
close.
close it there.
We're
This
going to
is the
close in the
first
next
time.
40 seconds. Because I want to go to the office.
I want to go home. It's late. It's 8:15. I think it's time for us to be able to retire. But I want to hear about the bus stop story first. I think we'll probably do that
Yeah,
later.
yeah. And are you selling shoes?
Well, you know.
50-50. So,
Okay, clearly
ladies and gentlemen,
the Christmas
ladies and
edition
gentlemen,
is a
the
tie.
Christmas party has begun.
Oh,
with a tie.
absolutely. Let's
So
give
well
them a
done,
round of
well done,
applause.
well done,
Well
well
done.
Well done to the debater.
Well, I mentioned that there is a surprise. What is that, John?
I don't know. I think the debaters can now breathe. That's the best surprise we can give them. But the surprise is we're going to invite our partners to speak to us. Karibu sana.
Welcome, Joan. Tell us a little bit more about AMI and please show us what's in store. As we said, this is the Christmas edition, and Christmas can never be fulfilled until we have a few gifts on the table. So, Karibu, Joan. You're welcome.
You know, their side and where they belong. So thank you so much for really bringing out the insights. All right. Thank you so much. That was really an intriguing debate, and we are all excited. I mean, all of us went different sides. We were this way. At one point, I was with her. Then I moved this way, and I believe all of us were like that. And until finally, we were able to get a 50-50. So we celebrate our debaters. Let's give them a round of applause. They've done a great job. So thank you so much. And of course, it's Christmas. We have a little gift for them. So I would like for all of them to come up here and receive their gifts. But of course, as they come, would like to just continue thinking about the different things that they said. And even think about in your own organization, what are you doing differently? I mean, from all the perspectives that we've had from both sides, what are you doing differently in your organization to support your people, whether they're coming back to the office or whether they're working from home? So really, thank you for the insights. And so we'll start with our beautiful lady, Marianne. And of course, so we have a very beautiful gift in here. We will let you open it and tell us what it's all about. But from both sides and AMI, we're really excited to have you. And of course, thank you for sharing your insights.
Thank
So
you
here
very
you
much.
get.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you
We
like me to
celebrate
open
you.
Thank you.
Sure. Would like for you to open.
Oh, wow. It's a book. It's called Make Your Bed, and I can only do this when I'm home.
Wow. Lovely. Thank you so much. And Kevin, please come over. We would like to give you this gift as an appreciation from both sides, AMI and everybody here. Thank you for bringing the insights to us. And hopefully, we will all go back to work, but we will still want to work from home a little bit. So there you go. Thank you so much. Please open.
Oh, wow.
Now tell us something about that. Will you be able to make your
I'm
bed at the office?
No. I'm going to
No?
make my bed and then rush to the office.
Great, excellent, thank you. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much for helping us to think differently and to help us to actually start thinking, even in our organization, what will be the best thing to do, whether it's hybrid, whether it's working from home. I'm sure all of us are excited. So let me tell you a little bit about AMI, because AMI has come alongside both sides to be able to partner with both sides, because we believe all these topical questions and conversations at the workplace are important. And so at AMI, we're a Pan-African learning company organization, and we're really excited to join this kind of organization, this kind of conversations, to really be able to help organizations as they're growing, as they're building their teams, as they're building the business. Because we all know and believe that our organizations, in our organizations, our people are our key assets. And so we want to make sure that we are taking care of our people. And so that's what we do at AMI. We enable ambitious businesses across Africa to thrive. And as you can see, we have worked with different organizations that you can, that you might know. And I'm not sure if you can see my slide because of this. Let me move it, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's better. That is better. Now you can see. Excellent. So, and I'm going to stand right here so they can see my slide. And so, yes, so we enable ambitious businesses across Africa to thrive, and we've worked with different organizations. And of course, that's the main reason why we're here, specifically to partner with both sides so that we can continue to spread these conversations through debates and making sure that our organizations are finding value. All right, and so one key thing is, and I think Rose mentioned it, is we believe that skilled people, they build thriving businesses, right? And thriving businesses do what? They create quality jobs. And I'm sure all of us are here because we believe our organizations have provided us quality jobs, right? And our quality jobs, they drive prosperity and dignity, and that's why we're all here. And I like, Kevin, what you say, this pride that comes with going to work. There's some dignity that comes when that your job provides for you. So we're really excited. And as you can see, that's the work that we've done. We've scaled across 39 countries and 35,000 people trained this farm. So we're really excited to be able to work with your organization in energizing your teams coming through the next year. All of us are adapting to the new situations right now in terms of working from home, enabling collaborations at work, and so we are keen on energizing your people in the coming year. And so now we're going to just talk about just a little bit. I'm not going to go into details, but these are some of the programs that we're offering at AMI, and we're excited to join and partner with you all, and even with those organizations that are joining us online, so that we can come alongside your organization and see how we can enable your team. So whether it's the middle-level managers, whether it is those that are not managing, but they are great individual contributors. And then lastly, we want to see, in the coming year, we are all coming from a tough time. We need to energize our people in the next level of growth in our company. So please feel free to reach out to us to learn more. And of course, my contacts are there. We're excited. We would like to hear from you. And so I just wanted to give just a high level of what we do. But of course, we are here because both sides has enabled this and has given us an opportunity to be able to have this conversation. So thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's attended, but also thank you to our debaters to really give us different insights and helping us to think differently. Thank you.
Numerous workplace issues. How do you view them? Are you stuck with one perspective? A single dimension? Take a vantage point, a panoramic view. Experience spirited contests, sparkling exchanges. Get your voice heard. Add your hue to the color of various workplace issues. Gain a broader and deeper perspective. Relish the nuances. Feel the adrenaline. Welcome to the home of sizzling workplace debates. Welcome to Both Sides.